Hey everyone, welcome back to Open Remote. So every sector of the world has been affected by this crisis, especially financially. And I want to point out specifically the art community. So our next guests are aiding with trying to preserve while assisting many folk and traditional artists who have lost their source of income due to closures of museums and other art venues. And City Lore, along with other art organizations, have come together under the consortium of Catch. And what they're doing is they're helping raise funds for these artists in this particular folklore community. And so joining us to talk more about the Folk Art Relief Fund, please welcome City Law Folklorist and Bronx Music Heritage Center Director, Elena Martinez, and Wabafu Garifuna Dance Theater Director, Luz Solis. Hello, ladies.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are
Hello,
you?
hi.
Good.
Yeah, I know. It's as good as it gets. I personally enjoy this time of connectivity. I mean, that's one of the benefits I get from what I do for a living. So it's real. I'm really excited to see you all, and I'm also always excited to see how people live, right? Because we get to visit each other's living quarters.
Yes, definitely.
And I see Luz got dressed for the occasion.
Right.
I love it. I love it. So, Elena, I have the utmost admiration for you, and I applaud you in your efforts to preserve and to be a stand for the traditions of any culture that honors their roots. And so, let's talk a little bit about the impact this whole situation has had on this community.
Well, so City Lore, along with the Bronx Music Heritage Center, and a few other organizations, the Caribbean Cultural Center, Mano a Mano, the Folk Arts Center from the Brooklyn Council of the Arts, and Center for Traditional Music and Dance, came under the consortium of CATCH, the Center for Art, Tradition, and Cultural Heritage, to raise money for artists who work in the folk and traditional arts. Because a lot of these artists, folk and traditional artists, these are artists that work in genres that are really rooted in the cultural life of their community. And, practicing these shared aesthetics that are part of their community. And a lot of times these artists, they don't, they don't have access to a lot of the funds that a lot of other artists do. As after the pandemic started, we've seen a lot of resources for jazz musicians, dancers and things, all these resources for grants and stuff. But a lot of times folk artists fall through the cracks. Like they might not, Luz does dance, Garifuna dance, but a lot of times the dance grants are open or for modern dance, so she can't apply for them. So a lot of the times the folk artists fall through the cracks in sort of getting to resources, and also a lot of times a lot of the traditional artists tend to come from immigrant communities where there might be language barriers to grants or technological barriers. So we were just trying to have a way to raise some money, and also to create a way that's easy for artists to access to get a little bit of relief money. And we started the GoFundMe page, which we met our amount.
Right.
We're trying to raise more, and we also have some grants out to raise more money as well. We did put the first round of applications out to get grant applications from artists,
Right.
and we received many applications, and we'll be going over them soon for the first round. But we hope to continue this because the pandemic has shown that a lot of artists need some safety nets, but I'm sure this will be an ongoing thing. This will be something that's ongoing because artists always need the safety nets.
Right, and I acknowledge you and appreciate the fact that you've made it your business to be that place, that hub, for lack of a better word, for them to be able to seek any information and guidance and assistance. And so, I speaking of the pandemic and this time of reflection, I want to have a conversation with Luz about her choice in making sure that she continued to excel in her cultural roots. Let's talk a little bit about the Garifuna culture, which happens to be a really large population in the Bronx. Luz.
Yes. Thank you, Rhina, for inviting me, and thank you, Elena, for this moment. It's very important that we really have this kind of conversation because it keeps us a little bit in tune with our present in the world, because this is really, very, very worrisome this time. Here in New York, there is a large Garifuna community here in New York City, particularly in the Bronx. There's about 100,000 Garifuna or more in the Bronx, and of course Brooklyn. There's a large community of Garifuna people from Honduras, Guatemala, Belize, and half of the time we don't know much about how to apply for funding to keep the culture going. However, the people are proud of their culture, and they practice it at home. We find schools to sometimes gather. So we practice in the summer. We take advantage of the parks to gather and play the drums and sing the songs. I don't know what's going to happen this summer because of the social gatherings. It's going to be very difficult to our people. It has been very frustrating to our people because we're very social, you're connected at all times. The language is a problem, like Elena say, understanding how to, do this for grants, for continuing getting that money. And the Bronx Music Heritage Center has helped the Garifuna community very much here in the Bronx. And Elena and Bobby, they're very inclusive of very different culture. Not only the Garifuna here in the Bronx, but all cultures. I've been to the Bronx Music Heritage Center and see the Mexican dance company and the mariachi and seen bomba plena of all times from Santo Domingo, from Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic's music. They are so amazingly inclusive. So it's very important to keep a certain centers open because our culture is part of our spiritual being. It's part of our connectiveness to ourselves, to the world, to our existence. And so it's very important, yes.
Yes, and thank you. Thank you for all of those words of wisdom, because this is certainly a time for all of us to reflect on who we are and what we're about and where we're going.
Yes, yes.
And the only way we can do that is by studying and learning about our history, which is what you guys do. You keep it alive, and we acknowledge you for that as well. So Elena, before we go, can we just share some more of the logistics regarding anybody who may have their own company that is in need of assistance?
Well, so as far as the applications for the Folk Arts Relief Grant, the first round is over. We'll be working on getting the first round of grants out, but we'll post it when it's time to have another round of applications. But in the meantime, for people, please, we do need to get more donations. So if they go to catchnyc.net, they can go and donate, and so we can keep this going and work on making sure we get something out to help the artists in any way, just some support that we can help the artists out there all through New York City. This right now, the grant is focused on New York City artists, and so we really need that help to keep it going. So
right, and I understand that Luz is also giving classes through Zoom, right?
Yeah, I'm teaching a 6:30 class through Zoom, sponsored by Casita Maria and the Garifuna Coalition here in New York. It was first initiated at the center, but once the coronavirus pandemic started, I have been doing it through Zoom, and it has been very successful. So it's another way of continuing teaching the culture through Zoom, just like the way you're doing here, Rhina. It's so awesome that you're bringing us together because this is another learning experience, how we can keep the culture going through this program that you do.
Yes, well, thank you. And thank you for being here with us, and thank you for sharing it with our viewers. Elena, tú sabes que yo te quiero mucho. I mean,
Igualmente.
Yes.
It's good to see you. Good to see you. It's good to see you both, even though it's through a computer screen. And I just want to say, at the Bronx Music Heritage Center, as you know, Bobby Sanabria is also one of the artistic directors. We've been doing online programming, and Luz will be featured soon. So hopefully you guys can come and keep track and check out. You can get to see some of Luz's work soon there online.
And so that's at the Bronx Music Heritage Center's
website? Our Facebook, at BX Music. So we'll have that soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's the way of the times right now. We have to entertain each other through, the social media and through whatever means of being able to connect through video. So thank you both for being here with us. And for you guys, I just want to say, for more information on the Folk Artist Relief Fund, you can visit catchnyc.net. It's going to continue, it's going to be ongoing, so be sure to visit the website catchnyc.net.